Good morning. Here we are supposed to study about the quantization. In previous session, we have seen about the sampling. Sampling theorem, Nyquist theorem. It states that we will require the frequency that will be equal to or greater than 2W. So here we are saying we will require the sampling rate that will be the minimum. If the sampling rate is minimum, it means what? If we will get the f of s that will be equal to 2W. What we are saying? According to Nyquist theorem, we are saying we will require fs that will be greater than 2W. But if that sampling rate is minimum, it means what? If its value is 2W at that time, the number of samples are less. So this will require low storage space as well as it will require less transmission bandwidth. So when sampling we are performing at the rate which will be greater than 2W, we are calling that sampling as a oversampling. So we will get the reconstruction of original signal. So it will require more storage space as well as it will require more bandwidth, because we are saying we will require the frequency that will be greater than 2W. But if you see, oversampling is better as compared to the process of sampling, where we are saying we will require the frequency that will be greater than 2W. It is better as compared to the fs equal to 2W. Oversampling is better as compared to the process of sampling, because without oversampling, if you see, the signal has to pass through low pass filter, since the practical signal is not band limited and the low pass filter has to be high performance analog filter. So here we can sample the filter signal at the rate Nyquist rate. It means what? fs equal to 2W. So here the continuous value samples are converted into a discrete, it means what? Finite output by analog to digital converter. And if we are doing the oversampling, what will happen? We can pass the signal through low pass filter, which can be low performance analog filter. So it will become less costlier because there is no need of the high performance analog filter. We can use here low pass analog filter. So here we can sample the signal at the rate fs will be greater than 2W, higher than the Nyquist rate. So the continuous signal can be converted into a finite discrete output by analog to digital converter. So with the help of oversampling, we can improve the performance and we can reduce its cost, because there is no need of high performance filter, low pass filter. So here we can say the digital sample we will get processed by the higher performance digital filter to reduce the bandwidth of discrete signal. So here if we are using the oversampling, it will have the advantages like our sampling frequency will become fs equal to fs plus 2W, because we are taking greater than 2W. So we can say we will get the frequency fs equal to ft plus 2W. It means what? Translation bandwidth plus we are getting 2W. W is nothing but it is the highest frequency in the sample signal. So you will get fs equal to ft plus 2W. Again, if you are using the oversampling, you will get pre-filtering. It means what? You can take the use of anti-aliasing filter by using the oversampling. So here if we are using oversampling, this will call for higher order filter. So here if we are using the oversampling, there is no need of higher order filter. So we can reduce the cost. But if we are not using the oversampling, there is a need of high performance low pass filter, low pass analog filter. So here we can reduce the cost. Hence, if we use the translation bandwidth, we can use the low order filter which are least costly, and here distortion also we can minimize. If we are using the oversampling instead of the natural sampling, you can use the digital filter which have narrow transition bandwidth without distortion. Here distortion can be taken care of by the suitable design of digital filter, and you can get the recovery of signal to analog, can employ oversampling in analog to digital converter. Again at the output we can use the DAC, digital to analog converter. So here if we are taking the output at DAC, we can give it to the analog filter which will not give transition bandwidth. So here we will get the output where there is a oversampling. So these are some advantages of oversampling over the without oversampling. So now we can see about the quantization. What we are saying, if we are supposed to do digital communication, if we are supposed to transfer the data, how we are converting analog data into a digital and we are transmitting, we are doing the communication. At that time it will consist of sampling, quantization, encoding, decoding. It means what? Here we are supposed to study about the quantization. Before that we have seen about the sampling. Sampling theorem, what we are saying? Sampling theorem is nothing but it is the Nyquist theorem, which states that we will require the frequency that will be greater than Nyquist rate. It means what? We will require greater than 2W. Fs will be greater than 2F. So here we are supposed to study about the quantization. What we are saying? Now we will get the analog signal. Firstly we will see about the uniform quantization. Now here we will get the output which is we will get from the sampling, because we are using firstly sampling and we are giving the output of sampling to the quantization circuit. So here sampling process will give us the train of sample with the amplitude depending on the instant of sampling. So here now we are having the message which will ranges from some value. We can take from any plus a to minus a. So here we will get the infinite level. We can assume any range if we are assuming plus a to minus a. In order to convert that sample into a bit, we need to limit the number of level of that sample, because here now we are having the number of infinite sample, but here we are supposed to convert that sample into some bit stream. We are supposed to again limit the number of level. So for this amplitude range we can divide into a finite number of level and we can call this process as a quantization. So here if you see analog signal, even it is limited in its peak to peak exertion, we can assume any value within its permitted range. If such a signal is sampled at uniform time interval, we will get the number of different value are sampled unlimited. So here we are supposed to consider only some value, finite value. Here receiver can only detect some finite differences. If receiver is not able to distinguish between two sample amplitude, if it is not able to distinguish between V1 and minus V2, we can say modulus of V1 minus V2 will less than delta by 2, where we are saying we can have the set of discrete amplitude level which are separated by the delta and original signal with the continuous amplitude. So here we are supposed to again convert that infinite number into some finite number. This ensures that the magnitude of error between actual sample and its approximation is between delta by 2, and this difference is irrelevant from the receiver point. Because of this difference it is not able to view these different values. He is not able to distinguish between these two samples. Just because of this difference. So here the realistic assumption that signal M of t is limited in its peak to peak variation and any two adjacent level we can separate, that will result in a finite number of discrete amplitude. So here we can say the process of conversion of analog signal into a set of digital signal as a quantization. Actually in sampling also we are converting analog into a digital, but here also we will get the number of infinite number of sample. But here due to this reason receiver is not able to distinguish between two samples. So just because of this reason we are again suppose convert to this into a some finite number of sample. So the process of conversion of analog sample of signal into a set of digital value, we can call that process as a quantization. So here we can see quantization is inherently information lossy for a given peak-to-peak range of analog signal, which is smaller than the delta, larger is the number of discrete amplitude, and hence we will get the finer is the quantization. Sometimes one may resort to somewhat coarse quantization, which can result in some noticeable distortion at the receiver. So here we are supposed to study about the quantization. You can see the graphical structure for the quantization in figure 6.2a, and 6.2b we can see the error signal, how we will get the quantization error. So here we can see if we are having the number of signal at that time, if variable x is denoting the input of quantizer, which we will get from the sampling circuit, we are denoting that variable as input to the quantizer, and the variable y represents the output. So you can see input on the x-axis, output on the y-axis. So the quantization process implies that straight line relations between the input and output. It means what? It is a linear relation. Linear, because you can see we are drawing the dotted line in between x and y. Near about the red line squares, we are taking the dotted line. So we can say there is a linear proportion in the input and output. So here we can say the quantization process implies that the straight line relations between the input and output of a linear continuous system is replaced by staircase characteristics. If you see, these red lines are looking like a stairs. So it is giving us stair-like characteristics instead of the linear. So here the difference between two adjacent discrete values, we can call that delta is a step size of the quantizer, because if you see the red lines are looking like a stair and these are giving us the steps. So we can say that as a delta. Delta is nothing but it is the step size of the quantizer, because here when we are giving input to the quantizer, it is giving us the structure which will look like a stairs. So here we will get the error signal. That is nothing but it is the difference between input and the quantizer output. You can see in the 6.20b. You will get the error signal, that is the difference between input and quantizer output. So we can see that the magnitude of error is always less than or equal to delta by 2. So here we can assume that input to the quantizer is configured between any range, minus a to plus a we are considering. So we can take here minus 7 delta by 2 to plus 7 delta by 2. So if we are drawing it on the graphical, you can see there is a difference between 2, that is nothing but the delta by 2, between quantizer output and the input. There is a difference of delta by 2. So here if we are considering one signal M of t, you can see in the figure 6.21a. B, it is the input to the quantizer, and we are giving the label 0, plus 2, plus minus 2, plus 2 also, the minus 2 also. You can see we have taken on the y-axis above the 0 and below the 0, minus 2, plus 4 and the minus 4. We are taking. So, then we are supposed to study about the quantizer output. Then MQ of T. Because here we are supposed to draw the error signal. They will give only the input waveform, which we are taking in the 6.21a, analog signal and the quantized error. You are supposed to draw the error signal. So here if we are considering M of T as the input to the quantizer with the quantization level 0, plus minus 2, plus minus 4. Then MQ of T, it is nothing but the quantizer output. You can see that waveform in the red color in the figure 6.21a. So here in figure B we can see the error signal that we can take. It is the difference between M of T, the original signal, and quantizer output. It is nothing but MQ of T. It means what? You can draw E of T equal to M of T minus MQ of T. So you will get the waveform which we can see in the 6.21b. So you will get here the diagram, graphical structure for the error signal. So we can call that as the function of time. Because of the noise which will lack appearance of E of T, it is common practice to refer that we can call that error as a quantization noise. Quantization noise. And if the input to the quantizer is we are giving as the sample, then quantizer output will also the sample sequence. You can see in the figure D. We can see the figure C and D. What we are doing in the figure C here, it is the common practice to refer as quantization line, and if the input is the set of pulses, if we are taking input as the set of pulses as shown in figure C, you can see here. At that time, quantizer output will become, it is the sample sequence. You can see where we will get the sample sequence, where there is a quantization error. At that time, you can call that as a quantized sample signal, or we can say that as a error signal. So here we have seen about the quantization error. Thank you.